Welcome to the 5-minute review, where we look back at 2010 and make a few predictions for 2011. 2010 will probably be better known for travel disruption caused by sneezing volcanoes, European deep freezes at the beginning and the end of the year, and devastating floods in Australia, Brazil, Sri Lanka and China, and of course strikes. In this regard, 2011 hasn't got off to a good start either, with Japan in particular suffering horribly. Natural disasters always show us the fragility of man against the elements, but it also shows us the wonderful resilience of mankind against adversity. We must always look forward, perhaps with a contingency plan or two in the back pocket. It's been a mixed picture overall, with some doing well, some seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and some failing to survive. Whilst consolidation continues with the global agencies, driven by clients requiring a global service offering from a single partner, we've also seen a myriad of new startups by experienced individuals who, for a variety of reasons, have taken more control of their future as a way of staying in the industry. Others have gone elsewhere, and this is an overall loss as the balance is now less experienced and, whilst cheaper, will suffer from the lack of good mentors and standard bearers. Much has been written about the global economies, with no doubt more difficulties still to come. However, those who did take stock and redefined their service proposition are beginning to see returning profits, which underlines, I feel, strong foundations from which the upturn will come once debt mountains are effectively addressed and reduced. Civil unrest is a concern for many organisers as destinations become paralysed through strikes which always seem to target transportation, and unpopular government regimes and policies. This is a global industry and we need the choice the world has to offer, otherwise it will all become very domestic, and some would argue virtual when it comes to face-to-face events. More than ever, the trade associations need to combine to lobby and to communicate to all the benefits of this industry, as an employer, as a facilitator of communications, as an exporter, as a motivator, and as an educator. The richness of bringing cultures together at physical gatherings is priceless. At times I feel too many associations with too many niche agendas does not help the cause. The market is becoming more fragmented, so another reason why we must not lose sight of the common objectives. Maybe it's time to see a global picture and realise, like banking, it is intrinsically and globally linked. Finally, sales strategies begin to fail as it becomes more difficult to secure that face-to-face meeting. There's a whole host of reasons why, and I've probably heard most of them, but underlying this is a change of generation, the X and Y, who do have a very different attitude and thus require a very different approach. And this includes social media too, and I believe more emotional engagement strategies. Looking to 2011, what are some of the predictions? Employees may well question companies' spend in areas like sponsorship when economic hardship continues for workers. Companies will need to improve internal communications to ensure staff really see the benefits of high-profile marketing and sales initiatives for customers and growth. A focus on awareness campaigns that appeal to emotions as well as feature products and services. Spreading risk through global markets and not global accounts. Increased supplier encroachment as more within the supply chain extend their service offering. Improved margins as new models take hold. Increased regulation leading to more transparency. More civil unrest which may well lead to final confirmations being very last minute to minimise financial risk and therefore maybe new terms and conditions. Increase in acquisitions, but bigger does not necessarily mean better. Universities taking stock given the large number of event management courses now available and the ability of the industry to accommodate all qualified graduates. And finally, London will continue to be on target for preparation for the 2012 Olympics, a great example of event management planning. 2010 seemed to be all about weathering storms. Let us hope 2011 is about whether you capitalise on the change in social, economic and technological landscape to bring real value to your clients and to your teams. After all, they are your biggest asset. Thank you for listening.